A Cebu vacation can prove that you enjoy Cebu. It cannot prove that your ordinary Tuesday works here. The difference matters before you sell a home, sign a long lease, or move. Vacation removes bills, weekday routes, and recovery days. We'll use 90 days in 3 passes: baseline, fixes, then repeats under hard conditions. It is a practical design, not a proven threshold. You'll get 5 checks and a written go, extend, or stop rule. 2 current relocation checklists converge on neighborhoods, hospitals, internet, heat, and spending. That is practical consensus, not a trial-length study. 3 30-day passes keep the baseline, 1 fix, and a repeat separate. The window misses some seasons and emergencies. Your dated grid is the proof. Make 5 columns: home, health, money, mobility, and routine. Give each one a weekly row. Green means the test worked without rescue. Yellow means one clear change may fix it. Red means the problem repeated or its consequence is unacceptable. Never average away a critical red with 4 pleasant greens. Before day 1, circle any test where 1 repeated red would end the move. That prevents a convenient rule after you see the results. Start with home. Use a flexible furnished stay rather than a resort room. Compare fresh, short stay and long lease quotes for the same unit. Published stay comparisons are incomplete and prices change. Test the address before sunrise, in the evening, and on a weekend. Close the windows, run the air conditioner, fill your drinking water container, cook a normal meal. Take a shower during a busy hour. Work online all afternoon, then test mobile backup. Cebu has fiber and mobile options, but plans change. What matters is this address today. Home turns red when sleep, water, heat, or connection problems return after 1 reasonable fix. For health, choose the facility you'd use. Travel there at a normal hour. Repeat the route in rain or heavier traffic. Record door-to-door time, the entrance, payment desk, and whom you'd call. Cebu's major private tertiary hospitals, including Chonghua, Cebu Doctors, and Perpetual Succor, are concentrated in Metro Cebu. That supports a location trade-off, not your response time or guaranteed treatment. The red flag is not a distance somebody else dislikes. It is a route or process you cannot accept on a low-energy day. For money, keep every receipt. Use 4 buckets: housing, utilities, transport, and normal food. Don't mix in vacation treats. At week's end, add electricity, water, cooking gas, internet, mobile backup, medicines, and replacements. Prices move, so record your bill and water refill method. Don't borrow a fixed total from this video. Add 1 disruption cost. Use a taxi when the usual ride fails, or buy a realistic tired day meal. Money turns red when affordability needs repeated exceptions. For mobility, choose 3 weekly trips: groceries, healthcare, and 1 personal destination. Make each trip at the hour you'd really travel. Record door-to-door time, waiting, walking comfort, weather, and the return. Repeat 1 trip without your easiest option. If you'll drive, test the backup without a car. If you'll use ride-hailing, try a busy period. A close map pin can still hide a difficult crossing or traffic corridor. Mobility turns red when 1 fragile route has no acceptable backup. For routine, build a plain Tuesday. Buy groceries, prepare food, handle laundry, stay home for several hours. Walk outside in the afternoon. Complete 1 slow errand. Then, run a low-energy day. Don't create an illness. Assume you're tired. Can you get water, food, transport, and help without making the day a project? Routine turns red when Cebu only works while every day is managed like a vacation. It turns green when a plain week still leaves room for the life you want. The old belief says, a pleasant trip and published budget prove Cebu can become home. It's understandable because both signals feel concrete. But vacation removes repeated bills, hard routes, address problems, and recovery days. A better belief is narrower. Fit appears when ordinary life works under your priorities. The grid makes that belief visible. Tally frequency because one bad night isn't a pattern. Write the consequence because a slow lunch trip differs from a slow care route. Then, retest one fix. If a backup works again, yellow may become green. 90 days does not make the result certain. It creates 3 observation passes: baseline, fix, and repeat. Use each source only where it fits. The 2 relocation checklists support the test areas. Hospital locations show where major care is concentrated. Provider pages show connection options, not your building's performance. For the final decision, your dates, receipts, route times, and retests provide matched evidence. Here is the complete rule. Score all 5 columns every week. Beside each color, write frequency, consequence, and the tested fix. Use the first 30 days to fill baseline rows without redesigning the rule. In the middle 30, change 1 yellow at a time and record the fix. For the final 30, repeat the hardest conditions without making the test easier. Go fits when critical columns are green and the remaining yellows have tested fixes. Extend when one unresolved variable has a clear next test. Stop follows a repeated critical red, or a budget that works only after removing normal life. You can run this grid without clicking anything. The grid now records how your trial performed. It does not compare the wider move across money, health, lifestyle, and visa readiness, or show which weak dimension deserves your first homework. That is the next gap to close. Take the free quiz and get your Cebu Fit score right away. Enter your email for your best fit Cebu area, realistic budget, likely visa path, and first steps. Then get 7 short practical letters over 3 weeks. It's all free, and you can unsubscribe anytime. The link is below. Suppose health is the lowest of your 4 quiz dimensions. That is not a new weight for the grid, and it does not rewrite the verdict. It is a concrete signal that the health part of the wider plan needs your first homework. Return to the health column. Run the hospital route at the hardest realistic hour. Record traffic, the entrance, door-to-door time, and the backup route. Only your route test supplies travel time and access. The quiz supplies the first homework, nothing more. Now repeat the same route from 1 different area. If it works acceptably twice, write the dated result beside health. If it does not, leave health unresolved. The quiz has told you where to look. Your trial supplies the evidence. Then, apply the unchanged rule. A repeated critical red cannot be averaged away by green food, rent, or social life. A cheaper home does not win when its health route keeps failing. The result did not choose for you. It turned 1 visible score into the next specific test. You may be thinking, a short scouting trip should reveal everything important. A multi-week visit can reveal a clear mismatch in the 5 test areas. It cannot prove long-term fit. Use that trip to reject a clear mismatch. When the question depends on repetition, keep testing. 1 good week can't prove long-term fit. Another objection is, paying for 90 days wastes money. Flexible monthly stays often cost more, and the gap changes by unit and date. Get 1 all-in flexible quote and 1 comparable long lease quote. Subtract the long lease monthly total from the flexible total, then multiply the gap by 3. That is the visible price of keeping a reversible number. Compare it with the deposits, furnishing, and commitment you avoid. Keep the trial lean and use 1 base. The third objection is, a trial cannot reproduce every emergency or season. Correct. Our chosen window cannot guarantee either. List the conditions you missed. Identify a backup for water, power, transport, or care. If an unseen season could reverse your answer, extend or return then. The honest output may be, not enough evidence yet. Before the verdict, audit every color. Give green a dated result, yellow a tested fix, and red a consequence in plain words. Then ask, would you accept this observed pattern for an ordinary year, knowing the window did not cover everything? Run a bounded Cebu trial before a permanent commitment. Go when the 5 parts of ordinary life work repeatedly and your critical priorities are green. Extend when one unresolved variable still has a clear test. Stop when a critical failure repeats or affordability depends on removing normal life. Cebu remains a viable choice. The trial protects that choice from a vacation-shaped mistake. It does not predict the future or certify that 90 days is enough for everyone. The verdict is complete. If it says go or extend, one implementation gap remains. Which Cebu areas deserve a closer on-the-ground test? An area-level screen can compare healthcare, hazards, and daily life factors, and turn that result into a shortlist. It cannot verify a specific building or route. That comes next. Open the Cebu Living Map. The Philippines hazard layers and 3 Cebu neighborhoods are free to explore. Full access covers all 31 areas for $39 once, with no subscription. The link is below. Here is one bounded use of that shortlist. Suppose health was your weakest quiz dimension, and 2 Cebu areas survive the first cut. Keep the destination, travel hour, and conditions the same. Start from a candidate address in each area. Time the route, note the entrance, and test one backup. The map narrowed areas. This test compares addresses. The map cannot promise travel time, access, or treatment. Only the route result supplies those facts. Your new proof is the same route test from 2 addresses. If one route works twice and the other depends on one fragile corridor, the health test narrows the shortlist. If neither works, return to extend or stop. Hold the test steady while the address changes. Treat the shortlist as hypotheses, not proof. The address visit and repeated grid still make the decision. Which test would decide it for you? Hospital access, sleep, heat, transport, internet, or the real monthly total? Write that one down first.